good afternoon, people. Good afternoon. How are you doing? It's your man, Carvel Bailey, coming live and direct from the Blessed of All TV studios. So we're here, episode two of Life and Basketball. This will be my new show. Run a few episodes here before we switch it over to the fan page. So this is strictly life and basketball, where we try to put together basketball and real life principles and life lessons and combine the two and get you to understand how sports and life works with each other. So if you're here, just give me a thumbs up, give me a heart, just, type your name in the chat. Let me know that you are, in fact, on the broadcast so that we can get started. Today's topic is being marketable or marketability. I'm asking for you to give me some likes or just some comments so that I know who's on, because Facebook does not necessarily show if I'm even talking to anybody. If not, show still must go on. Trying to get IG to working, but something is going on with their live right now. But again, we're talking about being marketable. Have to be marketable in the things that we do so that we can have more opportunity. So today's show is being sponsored by Blessed of All. All right, where we build you up and we take care of your academic, your social, physical, mental, emotional, psychological state and mindset, and we do it all through the vehicle of basketball. And we run year round. That's what we do at Blessed of All. School programs, we do small groups, we do big groups, and individual sessions, parenting courses, parent consultation, recruitment, the whole nine. Well, I'm not going to waste any more time. I'm not sure if anyone is on or not. No one has responded yet. But anyway, I'm going to get started. And we always get started with an excerpt. So I want to start off with this excerpt from the book titled Understanding Life Through the Game of Basketball. My book. All right, if you don't have it, go pick it up. If you don't have a book, go pick it up. All right, you can get it on bit.ly/Blessed of All book. You can go get my book, $19.99 plus $5 shipping and handling. Or you can contact me, and I can, if I'm close to you, I will personally deliver it as well as sign it. We do have the ebook on Amazon.com right now, officially. So if you want the ebook, you can go pick up the ebook. If you like to read, on your Kindle, depending on what it is. Sometimes I like audiobooks. Hardcover books, you can always have them. Otherwise, excuse me, Kindle is good for some others. So we're going to jump off into this this book here, and I will read you an excerpt from a title here in this book, just so that you can kind of understand some of the content that's in the book, understand some of my thought process that went behind writing this book. So this particular title here is called Why You Practice for Greatness. Why do you practice for greatness? Games I won in practice, not the actual match. So that's our launching pad right there. Games I won in practice, not the actual match. Too many times we wait until we get that opportunity, and we want to be ready, as opposed to starting to prepare for it way back when and way back then. And then we're speaking about being marketable. If you're marketable, now you're just not practicing one study. You're just not working on your jump shot. You're just not working on, how far can you shoot? Because what if there are other great shooters? You have to be able to do something else. You may have to be able to dribble. You may have to be pass ball. You have to do other things. So you just don't wait until the coach say, "Oh, we need someone who can pass it." The only way you're going to get the game is if you pass it. So now you want to go work on your passing because you can shoot, right? So the games aren't won in actual game. The games are won in practice and the preparation leading up to that match. So, there's my page. I had it, and okay. So the structure of practice. The structure of a practice will determine how the team goes about its business on a daily basis. It becomes a learned behavior for sport and life. So the structure of practice determines how the team goes about its daily, its business daily. It becomes a learned behavior and for sport and life. What are your daily routines? Depending on what your daily routines are, kind of talks about how you go about your day, what type of things you're accomplishing, what are you able to get done. Most people get up early in the morning, they may spend some time for themselves. Some people may just get up and they're rushing, and maybe their day don't go right because they're automatically in a rush. Some people get up, they meditate, some people pray, some people as soon as they get up, then they go wash up, then they go work out, or some people may not, I don't know, may not even wash up and go work out. Depending on what your routine is. I remember, I think watching Rocky, he would get up in the morning, right, and he would crack his egg, and he would eat his raw egg, right? That was his protein. Well, that was his daily routine. All right, so and I'm not going to stop anymore until I get to the end. I want to read this excerpt. The structure of a practice will determine how the team goes about its business on a daily basis. It becomes a learned behavior for sport and life. Structure, like most educational policies, requires repetition. This is not something that you attain on the first day of class or practice. It is up to those in charge to repeatedly reinforce every chance they get. This structure, however, will take time and patience. So the person in charge has to have self-control and discipline in order to pass it along to those under their care. I have always stressed certain principles into my team's mentality. They were all just as individually important as they were collectively to the concept of our team and growing as responsible men. These were being the top physical condition and mental condition, our defensive principles, making basketball plays, and selflessness. We simplified all of these things with drills that then carried over to the bigger picture. Fundamentals have always been paramount to our program. This is how we built sweat equity and garnered deeper appreciation for the game and each other. I'm going to stop right there on that. So it talks about your daily routine, but then it also talks about how the leader has to be marketable, because the leader has to be, at times when you're talking about basketball, the leader has to be a coach, a teacher, a mentor, sometimes a father figure, sometimes a spiritual advisor, a disciplinarian, right? They have to be the listening ear, the teacher, the educator, the counselor. So the coach or the leader has to be marketable. And it talks about how it trickles down. I'm not sure if, some people that are on right now may understand the terminology trickle down economics, right? Because we were around, kind of during Reagan when they were talking about all that. But it starts from the leader and then it trickles down. So the leader has to be marketable and be able to do different things, not just be a coach. If the coach can only coach, he may not coach for a long time. If the only thing that teacher can do is teach, they may not be around for a long time. So now let's take it to life. Even in, even in say music. If, the perfect example was Drumline. Now they, expect, okay, everybody needs to know how to read music. Well, he couldn't read music, but he learned how to play by ear. But he was marketable because he was able to learn, and once he learned how to read music, then he became that much better. And he became that much better here. Because by him not knowing how to read music and he playing and thinking he cold, but then when they got into him, like, you big-headed, you're not good for the team. And that goes into basketball too. When people think that they're good and bigger than the team, sometimes you have to add through subtraction or subtract to multiply, however you want to phrase it. But once he humbled himself out and learned that he, needed to be part of that bigger picture, because I talk about, right, that every individual is important to the team. And every individual is important to the bigger picture. So think about your job. Think about where you work at. It's an old saying that goes, no one snowflake ever started an avalanche. Think about that. You can tweet that. You can Facebook it. You can send it out. Hey, my quote, and I just love it. No one snowflake ever caused an avalanche. It takes many, right? Many together. Snowflakes cause an avalanche. So each individual is so important to the structure of the big group. But what if you can only do one thing? What if you work, let's just say, in the bank, and the only thing that you know how to do is to, be a host when, first come in the bank. Hi, how you doing? Are you here to see a personal banker, or you need to go to the counter? Okay, well, sign in. But that's all you know how to do. What happens now when they need a teller, or they need a cashier? Better yet, what happens when that, and we've all seen those movies, when someone that is prepared, that may not have that opportunity, but as soon as that person slips, they don't come to work, or they get in trouble. Now, you have to be prepared for that opportunity, so you got to be marketable. Hey, I can do that too, calling around, man, who we going to get to be the teller? Now we got to put ads in the paper and go through all this for a couple of weeks. Now our production is going to be down because we don't have anybody that can do that, because we're already undermanned. Meanwhile, the person that's working as the hostess or the host, they have that experience. They just never said it. But now when that time comes up and it's needed, I can do that. What do you mean you can do it? You've never done no other job here but that. But I have experience doing it. Well, I've been at home practicing, because again, the game is not won in actual contest. The game is won in practice. How hard do you practice? You play how you practice. So if you practice hard enough, the game is going to be easy. So that person is at home, they count money, or they speaking in the mirror, how you doing? Welcome to such and such bank, how may I help you? Well, now I'm prepared when I get that opportunity. I don't want to always talk about this particular player on this show, but when you look at the basketball game yesterday, LeBron James was, I would say LeBron James, right? LeBron James is marketable. He can play 5 positions. Like my favorite player, Magic Johnson. My favorite player ever is Magic Johnson. The best player ever is Michael Jordan. And I love Mike. But the best player to me ever was Magic Johnson, because Magic was marketable. He played LeBron James can play 5 positions, and he showed it last night. You know, they brought Kelly Olynyk out on him. You know, okay, I'm gonna pull him all the way out because y'all have disrespected me putting this dude on me. I'm gonna give him one move and go. That's a whole nother conversation there. That one move and go. Sometimes we play around. You know, you get people playing with the basketball. Coach told me a long time ago, the worst thing they ever did to the basketball was put air in it. Now, I made a post earlier today about indecisiveness. We can't be indecisive. We have to make that decision and move forward. So people just bouncing the ball